I'm Mahdi Shaheeb Sher. My website is www.mahdishaheebsher.com. I think one of my interests in the world as Mahdi Shaheeb Sher is the rise of China. I think that we are witnessing a rise of China, and I think that we've been witnessing it for the past 15 to 20 years. I think it's more like 15 years. But I think that when it started about 15 years ago, what we saw was maybe a massive shift of population from kind of the agricultural areas of China, from its rice fields to its city centres, mainly the five big cities of China. I think it's Beijing and Shanghai and maybe 3 other big cities. So I think that's what we witnessed, some kind of a population shift with the start of the rise of China. I think we saw a huge mass migration, maybe involving 200 to 300 million Chinese people, 200 to 300 million people. And I think that we saw that from these agricultural areas of China, kind of the rice fields, mainly the rice fields covering China. And I think they moved to places like Beijing. And I think just to witness that internal population movement within China is quite significant historically as well, because I think that level of population movement within a country creates significant change for a country, and especially with China, I think it creates significant change. But I think that with this population shift and change, China has been slowly building itself into an economic power by adopting Western business practices, Western economic practices, and also maybe Western consumer practices as well. So I think that China has developed a lot with its with Western economic practices, and I think that it's also adopted Western consumer practices as well to kind of tie itself in with how Western economies work within the world. So I think that's quite important as well, because I think for China to do this as a communist country is quite significant. I think that China is ideologically very communist as a country. I think that it believes in communism to a very extreme and high degree, and I think China as a communist country is very patriotic with its communism ideology. So I think that's one of the most important aspects of China. But I think for it to do this as an economic power with Western economic practices and Western consumer practices as well, shows that China's economic model is a very global one, and maybe focused around mainstream, traditional and accepted economic practices, and maybe not new innovative ones or new kind of synthesized ones with communism. I think it's interested in the accepted economic models of the world. world. So I think that's quite interesting. But I think with the rise of China, we're seeing probably the largest rise of the largest rise of communism in modern history. I think that's what we're witnessing, the largest rise of communism in modern history. Because I think with China as a communist country, with 1 billion Chinese people and 1 billion communists in China, is a significant development for communism in the world. So I think that is quite important to appreciate as well. I think the last significant change we saw with communism came with the Soviet Union, and that was quite a significant change for development for communism at the time. I don't think it progressed very far, other than maybe with its technology. But I don't think communism under the Soviet Union progressed very far. I think that's quite important to understand. But I think with China, it is kind of changing the world. I think communism is changing the world on a global level and an economic level. So I think there is a significant change there. So that's one of my views about China. Thank you very much.